All right, joining us right now is Bill Krackomberger and Ben King, Showtime's action show, Krack Wins app. Welcome. I'm excited to talk to you both because I'm intrigued by this app. You guys have only had it up for 6 months. You've got 20,000 members already. Okay, so tell me, first of all, tell me about the app. How did you guys conceptualize this?
Well, to be honest, I personally seen a lot of things changing in the market. A lot of different jurisdictions now have sports betting. Sports betting is going viral. It's going to be eventually across the United States in every single state. And I knew there was a lot of people out there, just like I said on Showtime, a lot of the snake oil salesmen, a lot of charlatans. Twitter's full of people that are have talking heads and talking about games and a lot of fake stuff going on there. So I wanted to bring something that my 25-year career of betting sports, I wanted to bring something real to the customers, the buyers, and just to the users of the app.
So let's talk real quickly, Bill, because you're actually giving people advice, but you're also making bets, right?
I give the advice that I personally bet. I don't think there's anyone else out there that does that. I'm actually personally betting the games, and I'm giving the advice at the same time. Sometimes I'll actually know that something I give out is going to move so far in the end, it's going to have a giant movement on it. I'll give it to the customers. I want them to get a chance to bet it.
Yeah, and that's one of the really important things that makes Krack Wins so unique. So again, there's a lot of people who offer betting advice or who say, hey, this is a great pick. Bill's done this for a living for the last 30 years and has consistently won over time betting hundreds and hundreds of games across over a dozen sports every month. So there's only a few people walking the planet that actually can do this and make a living. So the whole vision behind Krack Wins is sharing the insider's edge and expertise that Bill has based on what he's done to the betting public.
So Ben, tell me your role in all this and how do you guys know each other?
Sure. So we've known each other for about 15 years. One of our other business partners has worked with Bill for a long time and is a friend of mine. And so when we started developing the app, obviously we needed to expand our team. I've been working in tech and media for a long time, so I'm the person that came on board to help sort of conceptualize the operation of the business and help bring the app to market.
Bill, how accurate are you?
Prediction-wise?
Yeah.
It's not what you think, because of those snake oil salesmen and the charlatans that are advertising 60, 70%. To make money in the sports betting market, you have to win 52.38. That's the mathematical number to overcome to make money in the market. We're hitting more in the high 50s, 57, 58%. Just like Jimmy Vaccaro was a giant in this industry, set on action. 55% is a giant year to have. So I've had a 55% year. That's one of my lower years, though. But I definitely don't have years. No one does. 65, 70%.
So you're winning more than you're losing.
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
And so I'm just curious, when you're actually deciding on how to do your bet, do you have like a sort of ritual? Do you get a spreadsheet? What do you do?
It's more model based too. It's not what you think. Everyone is looking at different stations
Stats,
on TV, and they're reading their local newspapers even. Of course, now it's all on the internet now. So it's not listening to the talking heads that are on the other networks. This is more of an actual algorithm. It's more of a model. And then you have the human element of it too. You can't just have a model based. You have to have a human element that takes into consideration weather, injuries, some personal things that you need to actually tweak to make sure you're giving out the right information.
Yeah, and just to add to that, I think one of the things that's really important about what Bill does is he's taking all these various sources of information. He's taking analytics, he's taking AI-based modeling, he's taking into account all the other important factors and expertise that go into making sound bets. But then on top of that, Bill knows the marketplace and the lines better than probably anyone in the entire business. So our users will see, we may not win all the time, but 98% of the time we're going to be on the right side of the line and often by a pretty wide margin. So the closing line value that our users get, if we issue a total at and get on a total at 43 over, you'll see within a pretty short period of time, within minutes, that total will go up to 45 or 46. So there's a lot of value because Bill just knows the marketplace.
I wish I didn't, though. I wish it actually wasn't like that, to be honest with you, Ben. Unfortunately, it is, though. Right now, we're so popular. We're getting there, and we're controlling the market. So if I bet something, especially on a small market like WNBA or some golf matchups or something that's a smaller market, not like NFL, stuff's going to move after I give it out. Definitely. It's going to move in our favor. So in other words, if I bet a game -3, and you wanted to tail me, and you wanted to bet a game on Saturdays, hey, who are you on, Krack? I say, well, you could bet this game, but it's -4 now. So that's the advantage of having the beginning of getting on.
Yeah, being a member.
Yes.
And correct me, the members don't actually place bets through your app.
No. We're purely sports information and betting. There's obviously paid subscription packages for Bill's picks, but also there's a ton of information. You just need to be a free registered user or a free user. Yeah, there's a ton. We have articles, primers. So again, part of the project here and the passion and vision that Bill has for this is to make sure that bettors just get smarter, better educated, because again, there's a lot of bad advice out there. There's a lot of people taking advantage of bettors out in the marketplace, and that's a trend we'll continue to see as sports betting becomes even more popular. So,
yeah.
The app has tons of free stuff. Great free articles on bankroll management.
Yep.
Free articles of what I have done in my 25, 30-year playbook. I'm actually giving out for free on the app and letting people learn off of my mistakes even.
Is this a natural gift? I mean, how did you get started in doing this, Bill?
When you grow up back east, the family I grew up in, no matter what, it's like a rite of passage, sports betting or gambling in general. I grew up on a boardwalk town. My friends were out, drinking, having fun on the beach, and I was always hustling something, working, always working to make money, betting sports from a young age, pitching quarters behind a post office, playing cards, playing head-to-head blackjack with my friends in the garage. Yeah.
I was going to say, you're the kind of person, like, you fit the epitome of somebody you want to ask and get the opinion of whenever you're making a bet. Like,
yes.
Because you're that whole Jersey vibe, everything about you.
Sure. And trust me, I was a regular guy in the beginning. I learned a lot. I learned off my mistakes in the beginning and other mistakes. I literally have no gamble in me now. Some people have said to me, I'm the gambler that gambles without gambling. I really don't have the gamble to me. I'm just looking to win. I'm just looking to make money. I'm looking to make money for me and my Krack Wins users.
Yeah.
And that's something we've been very thoughtful about with the app and with the entire business is, Bill is really authentic. What you see is what you get. And he's done this and gutted out winning over 25 years plus. There's almost no one that can do that and make a living that way. So what you see is what you get. And our brand is all around Bill and the authenticity of who he is, as well as his expertise.
I'm going to ask you guys about artificial intelligence, because I've talked to a couple people here who are these AI experts, and I'm just curious, do you ever think there will come a time or a day where a computer will be able to make the bet better than a human? Obviously you can't take away you can't add emotion to that. What's your thoughts about that?
I actually grew up in this business, sports betting, and from an early age, the first advantage computer models were actually from Monmouth College, New Jersey, and they're called syndicate groups. The first syndicate groups you could do searches on. So this is back in the early '80s. So it's amazing, those old big IBM computers spitting out artificial intelligence on sports betting. So actually, I grew up always knowing about this and knowing there was a computer model. The first group was called the computer group, and so I actually grew up around this. I always knew it was there. But with the invention of the internet, there's so many different levels of this. I think that I am dealing with my partners, and I really believe I have the best information in the world. It's true. I've been not thrown out, but I've been limited or even thrown out of so many sports books just for betting, just for using my brain, nothing else. I'm not doing anything wrong or illegal. Just betting.
Yeah, I think the answer to your question is, look, AI is going to continue to play more and more of a role. It already does. With what Bill does, the modeling is very sophisticated and makes use of that. At the end, you still have to have someone with, I think, Bill or a human being's expertise and pattern recognition of just how the market is moving and making the calls. I think it's just like, investing or the stock market, where there'll be a ton of machinery that does a lot of work and creates a lot of sophisticated insights. But at the end, you still need a human being there. I don't think there's anyone that replaces a Bill Krackomberger when it comes to taking that information and actually acting on it.
There's not another Bill out there, that's for sure. Let's talk about also, speaking of which, there's something that AI cannot predict also, and that is something that happened at the Kentucky Derby, as we know, last year, right, with the disqualification of maximum security.
Yep.
I just want to get your thoughts on that.
That was the right decision, though. There's a rule. So if you have a $10,000 claiming race, a smaller race, or if you have a $1 million Kentucky Derby, the rules are the rules. They shouldn't change because something is more under a microscope or something is more in the public view, in the public eye. So I absolutely agree with that decision, and it was the right decision.
I like you,
a lot of
Bill.
people didn't think
You're a rule keeper.
a lot of people didn't. Of course, people don't agree with it.
Yeah.
It was the favorite of the race.
Yeah.
It was a giant favorite. Of course, they're going against because most people had that horse. Who had the other one, the real long shot that won? Of course, you're going to only hear the boos and the echoes. You don't hear the little guys that had $2 or $10 to win on the long shot. The voice that, and plus, it's a good subject. The big Derby controversy, but it was the right decision. It was the right decision in my eyes.
All right, I can see Bettor is keeping his mouth very, very closed. He's like not talking.
Oh no, I'm not. I mean, on the Kentucky Derby, I agree with Bill completely. It was the right decision. It was clear interference,
Definitely.
so it's the right call. Now it was fun actually because it did sort of shake up what could be a kind of a stodgier type of event, the Derby and all that. Let's have a little controversy once in a while, not just a bunch of mint juleps and seersucker suits and pretty looking hats. Let's get a little extra action.
Horses either, though.
You know,
but
but
horses is a 25% house edge
Yeah.
on the exotics and trifectas. We're betting sports, which has a 4.5% edge, a lower hold. So horse racing, even though it's a giant thing, it's just not what we do. It's so hard to overcome 15 to 25 to even 30% households, house edges.
yeah, I mean, I think that's one thing the betting public doesn't realize is even if you do everything right in any one given sports bet, right, you're taking 1 to 5% edge over the house, right? So if you thought about it as equivalent of like blackjack or table game, right? Bill, with his sort of information and his expertise, you're still only, sort of having a 1 to 5% edge on any given game, which means you need smart money management, right? And you need repeatable winning over time consistently to really make money, which is exactly what Bill does and what our users come along the ride for.
Very cool. Anything else you guys want to tell me? Having a good time in Vegas these couple of days?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, as always, it's great. Listen, everyone should go out and definitely take a look at Krack Wins.
Download the app.
Download the app. It's
A lot of
free.
great
Register.
free information.
Yep. You'll get a free pick a week for the first month and lots of primers, and you get to sort of get closer to Bill and get the insider's edge that he brings.
All right, Bill, Ben, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us, Jan. Appreciate it.